Hello, I'm Eddie from Grumpy Gamers Podcast, and today I'll be reviewing Weird West, a twin-stick shooter RPG set in the Wild West, which is a little weird. Yeah, see what I did there? I bet when Devolver Digital, the publishers of Weird West, gave a review code to the Grumpy Gamers Podcast, they were praying that it wasn't handled by me. The grumpiest of Grumpy Gamers. The miserable git who, unless a game is a lot like RimWorld, I will say that it is an awful game. But I'm here to say, do not worry all, because this ain't a bad game. First of all, let's talk about what the game is. In essence, it's an RPG set in a reimagined Wild West, where fantasy creatures roam, like werewolves and sirens and whatnot. The combat is a twin-stick shooter. Is a twin-stick shooter style? Yeah, it's a twin-stick shooter style combat game. You'll play with 5 characters throughout your playthrough. Each of them have their own story, which all combine at the end quite nicely. This may sound pretty boring so far, but honestly, it's in the detail where this game really excels. Let's get the graphics out of the way. Graphically, it's got like a dark Wasteland 2 vibe, with almost a Borderlands finish to it. For me, it looks great. And with the music and the general atmosphere of the game, it really matches the gritty storyline of each character. The camera you control to look in any direction, and it's also got different variants of zoom, which is great for when you're in like close quarter combat, or if you're just going up and talking to someone, then it's nice to be able to zoom in easily and zoom out again easily when you realise you're getting shot from a long way away. I loved the Ascent, but there was nothing more infuriating than not being able to see someone who's shooting you 2 meters away because you hadn't walked around the corner properly. The world map is simple enough, it's kind of a handwritten map, but where you traverse across the map, you kind of discover new locations. There are sudden world map events that occur randomly when you're travelling. This could be like meeting a trader or coming across some people that just want to kill you. It's an interesting addition because it does make you think before you go on a long journey. The developers do call this game an RPG though, and to be fair, the RPG elements is really where this game breaks out of the pack. The cutscenes really tell the story with like a cool hand-drawn written art style, with insanely good voice acting. I just wish the energy and time they put into these cutscenes were carried over to the in-game interactions, but maybe I'm just asking too much. There are some really interesting mechanics in this game where like your decisions actually affect your playthrough. And yes, I know that every fucking game in the universe says that, but this one actually you do see the difference. For example, when I got bored of being nice to a sheriff in the town, I obviously murdered him and every person in that town. But when I came back to the village was like starting to repopulate with different people. And one person who managed to escape my murderous rampage actually remembered me and tried to kill me. I even read the game advised that graveyards will actually become more populated the more people you kill, which is bad news for me because I do like killing a lot of people. In another case, I freed a prisoner that was just about to get eaten by a load of cannibals. That person later on in the game came back and actually helped me when I was just about to die to some cannibals. It's cool little things like that that actually make you think that your decisions make a difference. I also like that you could hire people to join you in your posse and you can actually kit them out with the weapons you choose. And those people have their own views and motivations, so if you do something they don't like, then they might leave you. Overall, you'll end up playing 5 characters, a bounty hunter, a pigman, a member of the Lost Fire Nation, which is like a Native American style character, a werewolf, and a crazy priest type person thing. Many people might like this. This really upset me because when I play an RPG, I want to be immersed. I want to feel like I'm controlling one person to the bitter end and leveling up that person. But to be fair, each character's storyline is really interesting in their own way. And as each character is very different with their own perks, it does make you play every character in a different way. When you've completed the story of each character, it gives you a detailed list of things you've done with that person, which to me just showed that I enjoyed the combat way too much, as killing 100 people in under an hour should not be something I'm proud of. Once you've completed all the character story arcs, all these stories actually kind of collide together at the end, but I'll let you play the game to figure out what that means. Right, let's move on to the combat, and I'll admit straight away, I usually hate twin stick shooters, and not only because I'm terrible at them, but this one I actually enjoyed every battle I was in. And that's because Weird West includes quirky things that you can do in battle that make you use your brain as well as your fingers and thumbs. Like in one fight, I saw that the characters were moving back and forth near a campsite, near some oil lamps, and now and again just grouping together. So I decided to shoot that oil lamp, it then exploded, they all set on fire, and everyone was dead. There's also things like stealth mechanics that mean every single approach to every fight that you can do it in a different way. And there were times when I ran out of ammo and I had to rely on other aspects of the world to get me through. There's also a Max Payne style bullet time when you leap, and that combined with the slow motion death cam that now and again happens, it sometimes just makes you feel like an ultimate badass. Each character has abilities and perks that give you the edge in battle, which means every playthrough is different. I've replayed this game 3 times already, and I've only had it a week. The weapons themselves are okay. You have a choice of only a few, but it does help that there are different versions of those weapons, and you can level up those weapons as well as upgrade them, or even break them down so you get ammo for that type of gun. And this leads me nicely to the inventory. It's simple and easy enough to use, but my god, will you spend a lot of time on this screen. With a very limited inventory space and every single character dropping a lot of loot, if you're a greedy goose like me, then you will be going into this screen to break down every weapon that you have and drop every $8 item that you own. It's a small problem to have in a game, but my god is it immersion breaking. So what's my personal opinion on this game? Overall, I think if you like your twin stick shooters, then definitely give this a try. And if you hate twin stick shooters, like me, then definitely give this a try. It's on Game Pass, so if you have a subscription, then please just give it a download and see what you think. It's a quirky, dark, gritty RPG where your decisions actually matter. And if you get bored, you can just go and kill everyone like I do and just see what happens. As always, like and subscribe. I don't actually know what that does to the channel, but Kirk and Ben always say it, so I guess it's got to be beneficial. But more importantly, we have a weekly Grumpy Game podcast where we talk about everything gaming. That comes out every Wednesday, and you can listen to it wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening, and GG.